Pokemon Legends ZA was revealed back in February 2024, and now it's December of the same year. Since the reveal trailer dropped, we haven't heard a peep about what's next. This silence has left Pokemon fans feeling like they're stuck in the desert, thirsty for any hint of news. It's been a long dry spell. Is our eagerness for news pushing us to the brink, where we hang on to every tiny hint of information? It sure seems that way. People are getting excited over Japanese chip packets and pre-sale notifications for school kids' stationery. But are these things really a hint of what's to come? Or just a coincidence at best and a common occurrence at worst? In this video, we'll dive into two items that recently blew up on Twitter: a packet of collaboration chips and school stationery. In Japan, the Pokemon Company teams up with tons of other businesses to release a variety of merchandise all year long. For most people in Japan, Pokemon is a regular part of life. They don't really bat an eyelash at seeing Pikachu on a gummy candy pack or Eevee on a packaging of a loaf of bread. When Pokemon teamed up with Calbee in October to launch a special line of potato chips featuring the Paldea and Kanto starters, fans just enjoyed the 3 flavors of chips available. On the back of the chip packs, there was actually a little ad including a QR code for Pokemon Legends ZA, but no one thought much of it. It seemed normal for Pokemon to promote their upcoming game while letting Calbee sell chips using their IP. Even more so since the Scarlet and Violet promo cycle has more or less wrapped up. But then, in late October, a Japanese Twitter user speaking Japanese tweeted about these chips. They mentioned that thanks to Calbee, he learnt about Pokemon Legends ZA. This didn't really create a buzz in Japan, since it was just another case of promotion doing its job. However, a few people in the English-speaking Twitter world picked it up, but not until November. Even Crew got in on the action, sharing a picture of the QR code on the back of the packet and suggesting that we were meant to get news this month, while also hinting that said news was delayed due to the Terra Leak situation that was causing chaos in November. But let's remember for a second, these chips came out in October, not November, meaning that these chips with the QR code would not have had any effect on a possible intended November news drop. Now, I'm not saying Ku is wrong. It wouldn't shock me if we were supposed to hear some news in November before the Terra Leak went down. However, those Calbee Pokemon chips that came out a month earlier, I don't think they're linked to any news that we could have received. It's just a regular promotion. By the way, So gave those chips a shot. He picked the pack with the fully evolved starters and said they tasted okay, but wow, were they super strong. Now, let's talk about the new stationery set. This set showcases Mega Evolved Pokemon alongside Paldean Pokemon. When it first popped up on English Twitter, there was a translation mix-up, saying that it would be released in December, which got people buzzing about possible new information. But it's always important to seek proper translations. That whole December release date was a mistranslation. If you check the sales site more closely, the pre-order ends in mid-December, but the actual sale isn't until March. Still, March does sound like a prime time for new announcements. But I suspect we'll get something sooner, definitely in February for Pokemon Day at the latest. But there's a good chance we'll learn more in March as the Pokemon Company revs up the promo machine ready for the big release. Just like the Calbee chips, this set of school stationery isn't meant to be dropping any big hints of news to come. In Japan, the new school year kicks off in April, so students and parents are usually out shopping for supplies like stationery sets in March. And with the latest games being Scarlet and Violet and the upcoming games being Legends ZA, it makes sense that these new school supplies will showcase both games. Releasing these stationery sets in March is just perfect timing for good sales. What I'm really trying to say here is that while stuff like this is definitely promoting Legends ZA, we shouldn't assume that every new snack or item with Legends ZA's graphic is a clue about future news. The Pokemon Company will share news when they feel like it, even if it leaves us feeling like we are watching paint dry while waiting. Meanwhile, they will keep cranking out new merch and collaborations without a thought about timing or giving us any real news. Anyway, thank you for taking a moment to check out this quick video. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. I make a lot of videos talking about how Pokemon and Japanese culture interact with each other, as well as the history and lore of Pokemon, translations, debunking videos, all of that kind of stuff. And do drop a comment about when you think we'll get the next big announcement. Fingers crossed it's soon. But for now, it's time for me to say bye bye. Mata ne.